way, let me ask you a question, because I'm always worried about this. Because, I mean, obviously, we're usually pretty much within minutes of agreed upon time. Um,
Uh,
Generally, I'm doing something else while waiting for that time. And
sure.
so, oftentimes, obviously, that's still going on in the background. Um, are you hearing that?
No, I don't hear anything.
Like, I mean, obviously, then I would start. I would put my headphones on earlier. Like, my headphones are fine. They're great, right? But whenever I can get away with using the sweet stereo equipment that I bought,
Sure.
I prefer to use that.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I haven't heard anything so far.
okay, cool.
From calling you. So
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's not work safe. It's just that obviously, I'm watching something. So,
yeah, it's all good, man.
all right, cool. That's not something I want to bring up.
Okay, let's finish these propositions up.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I was just gonna say, because honestly, I don't care too much about the propositions. They're no longer funny. They're just
Yeah.
a means to an end for JP. By the way, I don't have the Skype here. So I downloaded last night the PPSSPP emulator, and my initial idea was I was gonna grab War of the Lions for the PSP to see if like the version that I have on my phone is the same version. And then I saw Persona 2 was on, and
Nice.
I played Persona 2 in forever, so I ended up doing that instead. I don't know what it has to do with anything, but you know what? Now you know the thing. You're welcome.
I'm
Anyway,
gonna play Persona one of these days.
I mean, honestly, you played one of the best ones in Persona 4 and didn't love it, so I don't know if you necessarily need to play one of the older ones.
Really?
They're great games, but if you don't like one of the ones that's easiest for a casual player to get into, you're probably not going to like the ones that are less user friendly.
Yeah.
That's just a personal observation. I mean, you know,
I mean, I only played really the intro Persona 4.
They're all like that, though.
Possibility that I would have liked it if I had just kept playing, but
Yeah. Well, but like, so this is a thing that I've said before in regards to other games. If I have to play 10 hours of your game to get to the good part, you did it wrong. And I'm going to play 10 hours of the game to get to the good part. There needs to be a good part in the beginning, too. If you can't get within the first 2 hours, I'm out. That's it.
yeah.
You know, especially if it's a time-intensive game. Like, if you go in knowing this is a 50 to 70-hour game, right? And the first 4 hours, you know, the voice actors are annoying you, or the dialogue is weird, or you're not getting enough gameplay, or the gameplay you're getting is very hand-holdy and it's just frustrating. It's just like, I mean, I'm sure it's a great game, but I'm not going further. I'm out.
Yeah, that's, I mean, generally how I am, but so many times in the past I've felt that way about a game, and then I revisit it later and it's like, oh, I actually really like this.
Well, that's happened before.
So I try to, because I usually have, I don't know, I'm usually very critical of things the first time I play them. But, like, that's how I was with Final Fantasy V, big time, and then when I revisited it, I actually liked it quite a lot.
I would say I'm pretty critical of games that I'm playing new for the first time. Or I should say that I'm playing new for the first time, but that I've heard great things about. Oh, you gotta play this game. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, all right, what's so amazing about this game? Let's really look at it and see why this is the greatest game of all time. You know, and so like I'm already looking at it from a perspective of being critical in a negative way. Whereas like if I don't have a lot of information about a game, I'm much more willing to accept smaller issues.
Right.
You know, which is why a couple of weeks ago I said when I was talking about the whole thing with Persona 5, you know, after I saw a couple of trailers and knew I was going to get the game, I didn't want to see anything more about the game. You know, I don't want to know that Japan thinks it's the greatest game of all time. And viewer Sid is just loving this game because it's just going to give me such an unfair expectation perspective that like I'm going to be disappointed, and I just know that from personal knowledge of me, that if everybody tells me it's the greatest ever, I'm going to start looking at it like there's something wrong with it.
Like a real critical eye, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you didn't dot the T there, so, not that you would dot a T. That's what you do with
what am I doing?
Rob, your Zelda suggestion was interesting, but I think it's more interesting to somebody who's played Zelda enough to know the story and know that it's a nuanced idea. I have never had the Nintendo hardware to really play Zelda games in general, and so I'm very limited in my knowledge to what I've seen in the reviews, what I've watched on streams, and playing the first Zelda as like an 8-year-old. So Mike or one of the other guys at DPG would be a much better person to talk to about that. That's great for if you think you're going into a heavy, what's it called, battle. What's Gollum do?
I actually don't know.
Oh, I think personally, I think that's a better option. I mean, you could probably get both, but that automatically puts on an evade ability, so. You could actually do a Frit Titan and Gollum.
Let's just do that.
But I think at this point now, you have to start looking at getting more MP up items, because especially if you're going to primary as a summoner. Because these guys are heavy on need.
What are you? We're all set there.
I was thinking of what was it? No,
Okay.
I have to think about what I was thinking about.
Where?
Oh, dude, you can get that, and you can get Bolt 4.
Yeah, dude.
Do you want to do that? Do you want to check and see if there was anything? Well, counter magic, right? Was that? Yeah, get that instead of weapon
That's
guard.
good. Okay.
Did you pick up a cold?
I think allergy season is beginning for me.
All right.
And to be honest, I still have some medication for last year that I think I'm going to take right now, so I'll be right back.
Okay. Goliath, I mean, I agree to a degree, right? Like, that's a long time to get into a game. Like, you're like, okay, I got 2 hours to play. Let me sit down, and the first 45 minutes of the game is basically cutscenes. But, I mean, I also played it the whole way through. I loved the experience. And I was aware that it was going to be like that, because most Persona games are like that. But I agree. You need to get some gameplay in there quick. What's going on, Bryce? Good afternoon. No, I mean, I agree with you, Rob. I think your idea is decent. I don't... The thing is, like, I wasn't a huge Shadow of Colossus player to begin with, but I do like the idea. I mean, it seems like it would kind of age the story. And Mike Hatt says he enjoyed your guys' nuanced response to his question in the podcast this afternoon.
Oh, thanks, man. That's a good question. Thanks for asking it. You guys definitely give a lot of really great suggestions for some discussion, so...
I meant to ask you, I went over to the Patreon today to see if there was a space where I was supposed to do questions, and I couldn't figure it out. Like, do I just put that into the feed if I have a question?
You can do it that way. If you go down a little bit on the feed, there was a... And I'll do this again just to make sure it's at the top, but... There was a post I made saying, like, ask your questions for the podcast here. And you just kind of comment on that post. But I should make a new one so that it bumps it up to the top.
Yeah, because, like, being, I'm not, an a-hole, I guess. I didn't want to just start, like, dumping, random stuff in the middle of, someone's feed. By the way, your wizard has the Thunder Staff. You've got that wizard rock now. You may want to switch that over. I mean, obviously it doesn't matter right now. You're doing propositions, but... I'll
forget later.
Yeah. Same thing with the Summoner. You're going to probably want to switch them both over to wizard staffs.
Oh yeah, that's Sea Bag as well.
Or you know what? Give her the sea bag so we can see how great that is, supposedly. And then give, because I think you only have one wizard staff. And then give the wizard staff to what's his face? Or to what's her face?
Can't equip it.
Okay, do it the other way around. give her the sea bag. Because she can get the wizard staff.
Where'd it go? There it is.
There it is. Wow, look at that magic attack now. It's up to 13. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, it's going to be great. That'll help since we took the magic
magic
boost off.
Yeah. Bryce is
I
saying,
didn't mean to come here.
Bryce is saying if you continue on in the summoner class, you want to look into Fairy over Moggle, as it's a stronger heal.
Sounds good.
And this is the thing I was saying yesterday after we finished the stream, is that, you know, it's March 15th. If we're going to finish this in the next 15 days, you know, we can't be starring out on job classes. There isn't enough time. Not unless you do a bunch off screen. Because there's probably like 23 or 24 hours more of story content.
Is that enough? That should be enough, right? Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little bit scatterbrained today.
Hey, that's all right, man. You know what? I had a couple of coffees, so I'm already kind of amped up. If it's too much, just let me know. And
no, you're fine. It's just
try to drop it down a bit.
I'm burned out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt it. But it's got to be tough, you know, like fun, right? But like
yeah,
tough.
it's fun. It's just I haven't slept much lately. Let's see. What the freak was I doing? I was gonna give you the ability.
Yeah, we need what? Steel various things.
Armor, I think.
Yeah. Armor is good. If you still have anything left to go, if you can get that 250 for steel helmet, it's not a bad idea. Because I mean, it says helmet, but that's also hats and whatnot. And especially for magic classes, there's a lot of good MP hats.
I will keep that in mind for future propositions, which we won't be able to do any until I think we beat the whole chapter now, right?
Most of it, probably. I know some of the story events will trigger some of these places to have them again. So because you could save state, it doesn't hurt after each story event to go and check and see if anybody has them. But
okay. Wait, do we want to keep him with this? Because of the added power?
Yeah, I mean, he moves really fast. He's got 6 movement, right?
Yeah,
so
I think he's good.
I don't know if you necessarily need to get that off of there. Now, you've got punch art. No, but here's the thing. Just before you go, you have punch art on there. You did just put all that stuff on for thieving. Do you want punch art?
Are we going to be stealing in the next battles or something really good?
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. But it's your call. It's mostly. I mean, I would tell you right now that most story characters have stuff you don't have access to yet. Generally speaking.
Well, let's change it then.
And you want to change out game JP up if you've got something. There you go.
Okay. Let's move on.
Same deal, like when you get to the area where you're about to start doing story again, just double check your 4th slot on whoever you're going to bring, and make sure JP up has been switched out for something better, if you have it.
I don't think she has anything else.
Which is fine. Yeah, obviously short charge, which one.
I mean, no,
that doesn't matter.
Doesn't have anything else, or does she?
Nothing that matters. And then Mystadio?
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what monster skill does, but probably better off the JP.
Alright, save it real quick.
Yeah, man. Working yourself into a grave probably isn't the best option either. Like, if you need to take some time, take some time.
We'll see. I want to have a video centered around Mass Effect on Monday, so got a lot to do before then.
I was watching Carnage stream this afternoon because he was doing Mass Effect, and I gotta say, it's very Gears of War 4-ish for me. I'm not. I'm not
Mass Effect?
Yeah, I'm not loving it.
Mm.
You got a 4-man team. They all kind of chirp and quirk the same way they do in Gears of War.
You're talking about Andromeda, the new one?
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
The action is fast. It's slick. That's fine. The trees are interesting, dialogue trees wise, but like the gameplay, it's just. I was watching it and I'm just like, this is very, checkpoint and just Gears of War-y to me. And I don't know. I was like, I really felt like I can go without owning this for a time.
Yeah, I've been cautiously optimistic about it. I love the premise of exploring Andromeda.
Yeah, me too.
But the trailers have not endeared me to any of the characters. So.
Yeah, exactly. It looks a little too much like Nathan Drake meets Gears of War with the Mass Effect setting. And I don't know. That's not like an appealing combination for me.
Let's do it. Too bad Velhart's not here to be sad about the fact I'm not bringing Mustadio with me.
Sacrifice. He would say mistakes were made.
It might actually be a better idea to bring Mustadio, let's say, if I don't win this battle.
Because of the range?
Well, not only that, but I can gain experience for my summoner outside of... In the propositions, and I can't for Mustadio.
What's the point of having a summoner if you're never going to use him? Like, why get all the JP if you're never actually going to put it into play?
That's how I feel.
I remember this being a relatively difficult fight, if for no other reason that mediator up there, that they're calling a thief, is pretty difficult, and both of those chemists have guns, I believe.
Mm.
Oh, you know what would have been good for this map? Instead of battle boots, would have been the spike boots.
Yeah. Yep. That would have been a good idea. If I die, I'll do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say either that, obviously they're gonna focus fire Olan there.
What are you doing?
He's a mediator, so I'm sure he's changing everything by 2 or something. I don't know. It's a confusing class. When I was a kid, I remember it being an irritating class.
Gosh dang it. I hope this medicine starts working quick.
I think it should be ready just in time for the stream.
Yep.
Velhart says, I heard you like unsubscribe.
I just saw that.
Bryce says the stream is choppy. Let me go over to it and see if it seems that way.
Good thing we're not playing an action game.
Yeah,
okay.
It is kind of choppy, but it's fine. It's all fine. And exactly, it's not an action game, so who cares?
Your turn first, huh? Let's see here.
Sorry about that. Let me mute my cell phone here. Yeah, we're supposed to get 18 to 24 inches of snow. I had like 1.5 inches of ice on my windshield, and that was it.
Oh wow.
We ended up getting now apparently parts of New York got crushed, but we did not get crushed.
It's always nice when they predict a bad storm, and then I could actually get over here, could I?
Yeah, I always feel I agree with you. Like for me, it really hasn't made a difference for the last 5.5 years. since I've been working a corporate job. But like, especially for like
Sweet.
retail workers and stuff like that, generally places that close because of the weather, if they get like shafted on that, where like they close but they could have been open, they oftentimes will then be open the next time when they should be closed.
Oh,
And so
crap.
Yeah. Guns are a big deal, man. Guns are bad, okay?
They are bad.
Yeah, that spike boot, not having spike boots is going to make a big deal for Ramza and Agraris there.
Let's just give everybody spike boots.
Yeah, in truth, I forgot that it was going to be like that.
Me too.
Because I don't have a perfect memory of this game, because I am not a robot.
Spike boots. Spike boots.
Yeah, he's fine without it, because he was already moving its range. Yeah, Galeas, that's part of the thing for me, is that, like, this game, we heard about it, like, I feel like years ago, and then we heard nothing about it, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's coming out in a month, and that was kind of like how it came for me anyway, as far as Mass Effect Andromeda goes. But then also hearing that they lost like all